Hello and welcome back to my channel. I know that I have been gone for quite a while. The truth is that I had a baby and I've just been kind of taking a little sabbatical, getting used to having 4 kids, but it's been great and I'm ready to come back and teach you guys how to draw dogwood flowers today. I also made some improvements. A lot of you guys mentioned before that you guys had a hard time seeing my pencil guides, and so I'm going to be using a red marker so that you guys can see the guides that you're supposed to do with pencil. And then I will be using tracing paper in order to finish out the drawing. But as you can see, we did some small little centers with some ovals all the way around. And these ovals are going to be the edges of our petals. So let's go ahead and get started with our centers. We will just be making some little circles towards the center. And then as you kind of get to the edge of the little center, make them a little bit more oval. And you know, they don't have to be all the exact same size, the perfect little shape. Just go with it. I'm going to zoom in so that you guys can see a little bit better. So like I said, little circles towards the center, and as you go towards the outside, making them slightly longer, a little bit more oval. You're going to repeat this step with all 3, and then we're going to get started with the petals. And so I'm going to let you guys finish that, but just a little note about the petals. Each dogwood usually has 4 petals, and they have a very distinct kind of crease or crack or bend or something, I don't exactly know the word to use, on the center of each petal. And so I'm going to make this pretty obvious as I kind of make it skinny towards the center and then big and fat, and then you can see that little crease before I come back towards the center. And so each one will have this, and we're going to always put a little detail line there because it is a very distinctive part of the petal. And so you will do the 2 opposite sides to each other, they kind of are on top, and then you're going to do the 2 bottom after, and kind of have the same generic shape, but you know, make it one a little bit fatter, maybe one a little bit longer, just because the imperfections in flowers is what's make it so awesome and unique. When people are learning how to draw flowers, they always, tell me, oh, yours always looks so much better. I can never get mine to look that perfect. And the actual secret is to add imperfections. So as you can see, this second flower looks a little bit funny because the petals all look very different, very wonky. But no flower has all the petals the exact same size. Sometimes even like the perspective of how you're seeing the flower makes one petal look fatter, one petal look skinnier, longer, shorter, or whatever. And so that's why I like to add, slightly different sizes, slightly different shapes, because then it gives the flower a more real look. And so now we're gonna get started with the detail lines. I always like to add some kind of coming out from the center, some long, some short. And the 3 tips that I always give for detail lines is 1, add curvature to your lines. If they're too straight, it's going to look very static and flat. Number 2, add a variety of lengths to your detail lines, making some shorter, making some longer. And number 3, adding some little short ones towards the center so that it kind of gives that depth feeling towards the center. And a specific hint for the dogwood is to have a detail line in that little crease that each petal has at the top center. And so you can do maybe 2 or 3 little short ones, making it slightly darker so that you can tell that there is a slight fold or little bend right there. So I want these 3 dogwoods to look like they're on a little branch because the dogwood is actually a tree. It's a dogwood tree. And so we're gonna add a little branch kind of coming up behind them as if there was just a little wood stem that you guys had grabbed. So I'm taking off the guides from behind because we're done with that portion. And so it's just kind of going to curve inwards and go behind all three of them. And Don't make these straight lines, kind of add slightly squiggly, sorry, I can't even speak English today, squiggly lines so that it looks like an actual branch. And then we're going to add just a few leaves. I'm going to add a little one here towards the front, and then I'm going to add 2 behind the flowers. But you can add them wherever feels right. I kind of had to clip this part because I couldn't really figure out where I wanted to put them. But once those are in, you have a beautiful dogwood that you can now color and paint and put on a card if you want. But thank you so much for being here. Thanks.